Hi there, my name is Zach Brigel, and welcome back to my channel called the AI Positive Educator. My goal here is to help you learn more about AI so you can save time, help your students learn more about AI so they can better themselves before they enter a workforce dominated by AI, and also just to understand everything that's happening at the moment with AI in education so you can make the best choices for you and your classroom. Let's get started on the second video. So today's video is about the best AI to use as a teacher. And we're going to look at ChatGPT, Gemini, and Microsoft Copilot. And what we've done is we've actually asked each of these AI platforms, what is the best AI to use as a teacher for all of these different things? Lesson planning, report writing, general admin, student materials and differentiation, and also just like a general summary at the end. So it's really interesting to do it this way because then you can see whether different AI platforms actually will admit that other platforms are better for certain things, which often gives us a really good indication that we should use those platforms and actually seek out different platforms for different tasks because certain platforms are better suited for certain tasks. So as we go through each slide, I'm going to highlight a couple of things that each AI platform says about other AI platforms. So ChatGPT says that Gemini through Google is obviously best at automating admin tasks through the Google Workspace integration. This is pretty obvious because as I just said, Gemini is set up through Google. It's also best at being your web connected classroom companion. So really connecting to the internet, finding out information very quickly and easily is really good with Gemini because it's connected to Google. So it's very up to date with everything that's happening in the world. And Microsoft Copilot, it says, is best at being your integrated productivity partner. So Copilot can actually connect with Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, all your other Microsoft applications. And this is really important and can be very useful. So now we get to Gemini. And what does Gemini think about all this? Which AI platform does it think is best for teachers? Well, Gemini thinks that ChatGPT is best at brainstorming unique and creative lesson ideas from scratch. So maybe you want to use ChatGPT to go through a lesson plan really slowly and actually break something down carefully, not just asking an AI for a lesson plan, but actually working with it as a creative partner. And it really thinks that ChatGPT is best at this. It also thinks that ChatGPT is best at writing nuanced and empathetic comments that capture a student's full story. So that could be really good for reports where we want to differentiate as teachers and we can never have all students having the same or similar comments. So that's really important. Interestingly, it does say that Copilot is best at creating custom images and diagrams for worksheets and presentations. I would have thought that Gemini would win in this category because Nano Banana is fantastic and considered an industry leader in this area. However, Copilot has won, so that is very interesting. And also the fact that it's your most knowledgeable researcher. So maybe Copilot is best at doing those creative research projects for students and teachers on difficult topics that we talk about and learn about at school. And what about Microsoft Copilot? What does it think about all this? So similar advice about ChatGPT. It says that ChatGPT is best at creative, customizable lesson plans. As we talked about before, a big strength of ChatGPT is its creativity, and that's really shown well here. We've talked about this as well with Gemini, that it's great at syncing with your Gmail, your Google Calendar, and all the other Google applications. Interestingly though, it does say that Gemini is your multimedia savvy co-teacher. So just to explain a bit more about that, Gemini is fantastic at reading watching and listening to different multimedia. So you can give Gemini a video of something that you've explained to your students, and it will actually watch your video and can break down what you did well, what you could have done better, and maybe some tips for next time. So that's really cool, and Gemini is great at doing that. And in that way, it can kind of be your co-teacher or your co-teaching assistant. So some final points. ChatGPT is best for brainstorming, lesson planning, and creative tasks. Gemini is best at analyzing and remembering large documents, videos, and connecting with all of your Google applications. That's one thing that we perhaps haven't touched on as well. Not only is it great at analyzing all types of multimedia, but it can actually remember and go through large documents and videos very easily, and probably much better than the other AI systems that we've talked about. Copilot is best for integrating with Microsoft Office because it's connected to Microsoft Office, unlike the other AI platforms, and also really good at creating custom images and diagrams and doing detailed research for you. I have said there along with Gemini because I think Gemini is great at doing detailed online research, and that's not to say that ChatGPT is not, but perhaps those two platforms are slightly better for this when it comes to teaching and learning in the classroom. However, there is something called the prompt tool myth. This is the idea that the level of your prompt does not matter if you are using the right AI for your chosen task. And that, my friends, is not true. The level of prompt is super important. The way you prompt, the way you talk to an AI, the way you constantly engage with an AI with repeated follow-up questions that are scripted and written in the right manner, that is the most important thing. All of the tools that we have discussed today, Gemini, ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, as well as many others, such as Claude or Grok, they're all very powerful. They can all do so many amazing things. But the way we talk to them is the most important thing. I will be talking more about prompting in a future episode. And I do want to stress as well that everything I have discussed today is still important. If you want to get that extra 1% or that extra 5, 10% out of your AI tools, it is important to pick the right tool for the right task. However, prompting is the most important thing. And I will be discussing that in a future video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon on the next video. Bye-bye.